Well, Bob, it was a full but short skate for the Edmonton Oilers on Tuesday here at Rogers Place. Combined with what you saw from practice and last night's 7-4 victory, what are some of your takeaways heading into Game 2?
Well, I actually think back, I remember a number of years ago, Ken Hitchcock talking about Team Canada at the Olympics, and he said, you know, you don't have to overcoach. And it's about making sure that you have the optimal energy for the game. So today, Chris Knobloch referenced, fluidity and not over-meeting. They've done a lot of the meeting, a bunch of the advanced work. Obviously, we expect some tweaks, frankly, from both teams. Though I think we'll see the same lineup from the Edmonton Oilers. I mean, I think Edmonton played pretty well, and that was probably a 6-2 game that became a 7-4 game because of some puck luck. LA, they can't be happy with how they performed. They gave Edmonton too many chances, so they're going to try to make some changes. And it's a big game, for both teams because it's been a while, obviously, since the Oilers have won Game 1 at home in a series. May 2nd, 1990. But, tomorrow night, you're going to LA either up 2-0 or it's a even series. But I'm not surprised that Edmonton had, a skate. LA has gone down a different path, and I'm not surprised by that either because I think it's about ensuring that you're at an optimal level for the games and you've got your energy for the games.
Do you expect a better LA Kings squad come Wednesday night?
Yeah, but I also... Tony, I expect Edmonton to be better too.
Okay.
I think that there's some stuff that can... when you think about the game last night, the Oilers blew a face-off assignment 2 minutes into the game, and Stuart Skinner made a great save. And then at 2-0, a misplay in a transition gave the Kings a breakaway, and Skinner made another terrific stop. So I think Edmonton could do a little bit better job managing the puck. I'll give the Kings credit for directing pucks on goal. They got some bounces last night. Kings are obviously going to want to improve their penalty killing, but I will say this. In the final 20 games, I didn't like the Oilers' power play because I thought it lacked a little bit of an imagination. But guess what? I think what they did here, like there's a saying, if you know you're in the playoffs, in football, if you're an offensive coordinator, you don't reveal all of the playbook as the season wears on. If you're sitting there and you know you're going to be in a conference championship game and you're sitting there with a record of 9-0 and you got a cupcake game or an easier game, you back off and you just run straight vanilla. And I think that the Oilers showed some significant different looks in the power play last night. And Connor McDavid said something really interesting after the game last night. He said, we got a couple other tricks up there. Like they were moving guys around, and it wasn't a predictable looking power play. And I think that's part of the genesis of why Edmonton went 3 for 4. Obviously, LA wants to do a better job in the penalty kill. And frankly, they were lucky, at least on one of the Trevor Moore play, on Vincent Desharnais, to me, bore a striking resemblance to what happened to Josh Archibald. Right? Yeah. So, but bottom line here, I expect the Kings to be better, but I think Edmonton's got another gear that they can get to as well.
The Oilers' power play was certainly firing. The Oilers' PK also showed very well. Very quickly, you mentioned him twice already, Stuart Skinner. The numbers may not pop out, 33 of 37, but he was very strong last night. But you said... a result of puck luck for a couple of those goals against.
And he made the saves. You know what? That was a Grant Fuhr goaltending performance last night from Stuart Skinner. And by the way, Grant Fuhr's first playoff experience, because you weren't born yet, but I was around back then in 1982. It didn't go well for Grant Fuhr. And there was a lot of criticism after they lost the series in 5 to LA. Stuart had some tough moments last year. It was a learning experience for him as a 24-year-old Guardian. But I've often thought that maybe the best suited type of goaltender to play at Edmonton is a guy from Edmonton that grows up and understands what it's like to play here in this passionate environment. So I think Stuart's got a long runway to go here with Edmonton in terms of where he's going to be just because of his work rate. And he was a little bit unlucky, but the bottom line was he got the win, and that's what it's all about.
Well, Stuart Skinner hoping to prove that he has learned from 2023. We're always learning from this guy. 6:30 Chad's Bob Stauffer. Always appreciate your time, Bob.